if you have created an assignment in GeoGebra and you would like to share it with your students, or if you want your students to create something for themselves and you would like them to do that on a blank template, you can add both of those to Schoology as assignments. If it is a blank template, simply take this address right here and share it as a link in your assignment, or have your students type in geogebra.org/notes. If you have something which you've created either as a template or as an assignment where you want your students to use writing tools or add other features, then you will need to share it. To share it, simply click on this button right here. It will save it, and if you haven't titled it previously, it will ask you to do that. Then you'll get a share link, and you're going to copy that link. Then you'll take it over to Schoology, and you'll create yourself an assignment. It's not necessary to create an assignment. You can actually insert it into a page or another place, but if you're doing it as an assignment, simply click Add Assignment. I've already started one right here where I have my assignment, so I'm going to go ahead and continue adding to it by clicking Edit. As you can see, I have my title, I have my directions, and I also included a how-to video for my students, especially important if it's the first time they're doing this. Then I'm going to click Enter, and I made myself some space at the bottom where I'm going to add this link. I can hit Control V, but it works better if you write here, Link to Assignment, and you can highlight that, click the link up on the top menu, and you can Control V. You can type in Link to Assignment right here instead of doing it there. It is the same thing, and it works both ways. This gives me a cleaner link. However, especially for students working at home, I want to make that as visible as possible to reduce the likelihood of confused students and questions. So I'm going to make that link really big. I'm also going to make the link stand out by changing the color, so you have some formatting options to your text when you're creating the link. At this point, I can go ahead and save my changes. I have another option when I'm adding a link to an assignment, is I can embed it. So I'm going to click this little button right here. It's called an external tool. And I'm also going to add that in here. So I'm going to click Control V because I want you to see how it looks when you just add a link and when you embed it. Again, I'll need a title. And I'm going to click Submit. I have my link to my assignment, but I've also added the external tool where it's embedded. And now I'm ready to save. So from a teacher view, when I click on it, this is what I see. I have my directions, I have my big giant link, and then I have my extension. So let me take you now over to the student view so you can see it from that perspective. In the student view, I'm going to open up my assignment. The view looks the same except for I have the Submit assignment up at the top. So let's start with clicking on the link. The link takes me out of Schoology and opens a new tab. So I can see my assignment, and I can see that my assignment has 2 pages. Now as a student, I can add information to that, so I'm just going to add something so that you can see that I've added something. I'm going to go ahead and make it fill. There we go. Great. So the reason why is that I want you to see that this does not change my teacher copy, just my student copy. Then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click on the embedded version and show you how that looks. So you can see that it's a little bit different. Now, the original link took us outside of Schoology. The embedded link keeps us inside of Schoology. But as you can see, there might be some issues with formatting when you do it inside of Schoology. You can correct that a little bit by clicking this little button right here, which expands it to full screen. And you can see that some of the issues are corrected, but there is still some formatting issues. So whatever you create, be sure to check to see what it looks like in this view if you want to embed it. Sometimes it looks perfectly fine, and sometimes it doesn't. So it's worth checking if this is the feature you want to use. So going back over here, I can now share this assignment. This assignment I can also share, but it's going to look a little different in the way that I share. I cannot submit this assignment with whatever changes I make. So if I add something to this assignment, so now I'm going to add a square to this assignment and just make that square right there. Again, I'm going to add some color to it just for the purpose of adding something to this so you can see it. Now when I go back over to my assignment, nothing is stuck here. I have to actually submit it by adding the link. So in the embedded version, in order for students to be able to turn it in, they'll need to save and they'll need to share. They will also need to log in. When they click save, it will automatically ask them to log in, and if they haven't created an account, they can create an account. Have them log in using their either Google or Microsoft and using their CFIC credentials. It's the same thing. So I'm going to save. Now notice these last three numbers right here, KWH. Jumping back over to the teachers. And I'm going to go to my assignment that I shared initially. Notice that these numbers are different. That indicates that these are not the same file anymore, that you've made a copy for your students. Back over in the student view, in this one, you're going to have your students share it the same way you did if you just used the link. So they will save it. Again, they will need to log in and create an account if they haven't done so. And notice that these numbers are different again, MXZ versus KWH. So each time you click on that link, it creates a new copy of this for whomever opens it. At this point, I'm going to take my assignment and I'm going to copy it, go back to my Schoology, and now I'm going to submit my assignments. You will need to click on Create when you're submitting. And there's two ways where you can put the link in. I recommend putting the link by clicking on link. And you can put your title in here. And paste your link and click insert. And the reason why is, as a teacher, this link is more likely to be active. If a student just does this, Control V, and they submit it, it's kind of a hit and miss of whether or not this link is clickable. And as a teacher, you want to be able to click and go when you're grading these. So teach your students to be able to do this as opposed to doing this. Many times this link is clickable as a teacher, but not always. And then I'm going to submit. Now let me jump back over to the teacher side. Okay, I'm in my assignment once again. This is the teacher view. And I can see that I have something as a teacher that needs to be graded. So I'm going to click on it. And in this case, both links are clickable, and I just simply have to click these links and I can view my student's assignment. I can grade it from here and give them their comments, and I can even have extended comments over here if I wanted to give them extensive feedback. This basically summarizes all you need to know about adding Geogebra Notes to Schoology.